Good morning, everybody. We have a lot of people here that I'd like to start by acknowledging them, if I can get to my sheet. So please join me in welcoming from the Monroe County Legislature. We have legislators Dave Long, Santos Cruz, and Paul Dondorfer. So thank you for joining us today. From Monroe County, we have our Director of Public Safety, Chief Rich Tantillo. Tom Fries, the Monroe County Director of Transportation. Tom Pollock. Is Tom here? No. Oh, I haven't seen Tom Pollock. The Deputy Director. Supervisor for the Monroe County Office of Traffic Safety Coordination. Lindsay Tomedy is here. Christina Doherty, the Principal Central Police Services Administrator in our Department of Public Safety. We also have from our Planning Department, I saw Patrick Gooch and Ishen Lin. And I don't know if Annalise is here. Annalise, our director, is here as well. And Cody Donahue is the Director of Policy and Advocacy for Reconnect Rochester. And obviously we have a lot of other people here joining us today as well. We're here today because we recognize October is the National Pedestrian Safety Month. And it's a good time for us to step back and recommit ourselves to educating our residents on traffic safety and creating safer streets for pedestrians. So this coalition that I'm joined by today is both government and community professionals to announce a bold new step in addressing traffic safety throughout the county. You know, first and foremost, we invest in traffic and pedestrian safety to save lives and to prevent serious injury. But safer streets have added benefits to our community. Safe streets have a positive economic impact, a public health benefit, and safer roads naturally promote better quality of life for our residents. But each year, on average, 47 lives are lost on Monroe County roadways. So step back and say that again. 47 lives are lost every year on Monroe County roadways, and over 5,000 people are injured in traffic crashes. Now, these aren't statistics, so for each one of these numbers, these are family members, right? These are people. And they have friends, they have neighbors, they have families. These are lives that we've lost, and each incident is a tragedy. But what's also tragic about this is that each one of those lives that we've lost, oftentimes, is preventable. And too many of our neighbors have suffered the consequences, and we need all of our neighbors working together to ensure that drivers, pedestrians, cyclists, anyone really who's using our roads remains safe. So today we're here to announce New York State's first ever community traffic safety team. This team brings together the expertise of the Monroe County Department of Public Safety, the Department of Transportation, and the Department of Planning, while also working hand-in-hand with partners from federal, state, and local governments, law enforcement and public safety agencies, nonprofits, faith-based organizations, neighborhood associations, and most importantly, our residents. Recently, we used this model to create our first ever countywide active transportation plan. We brought together a very similar group of people, drawing upon the expertise and experience of all these folks who utilize different modes of transportation. So today we're going to build on that model by replicating it for our community traffic safety team. We're taking a new comprehensive and community-driven approach to tackling traffic safety. Our community traffic safety team will provide our residents easy access to the professionals that can review and address traffic concerns. Today we're launching a new online portal where you can submit your traffic safety concerns. All you have to do is log on to monroecounty.gov/TS, or you can even call our dedicated hotline, 585-753-3200, and leave a message for our community traffic safety team. And starting in January, in just a couple months, the community traffic safety team will begin quarterly meetings to examine crash data, review public feedback, and evaluate the design of our roads, sidewalks, crosswalks, trails, and more. And it will address current hazards and also make proactive recommendations to prevent future tragedies. But the most important part of this initiative is our residents. It's the folks who are watching this on TV right now. You know our neighborhoods better than anyone else, right? People who live in our neighborhoods across the county know their neighborhoods best. You know the areas where speeding is a problem. You know where crosswalks are lacking and where intersections just simply feel unsafe. The information and data you share will inform our proactive measures to improve infrastructure, road, and pedestrian safety. Now, community input is key to improving the safety of our roads. Your voice matters in this process, and we're making it easier for you to share your concerns. As we recognize Pedestrian Safety Month, we also are coming towards the end of School Bus Safety Week. Recently, we partnered with school districts in the county to launch our bus patrol program. Using innovative technology, we're holding dangerous drivers accountable for illegal passing of stopped school buses. Listen, we've all seen it, right? And this is frustrating, it's dangerous, it's frustrating to drivers, it's frustrating to parents, it's frustrating to the school bus drivers, our school districts, everyone. Nobody should be stopping a passed school bus when the red lights are blinking. This program helps to hold drivers accountable. It helps to educate the community about the dangers of passing a stopped school bus, and it's working. We're using this innovative technology to hold people accountable. Our intent is to utilize those funds that are paid as a result of those fines to accumulate to support traffic safety initiatives and programs through this community traffic safety team. So this is, again, instead of just utilizing these fines and bringing them into just the general government budgets, instead what we're doing is the fines that are being collected from those who are creating that dangerous condition on the road is then going to be reinvested back into making our roads safer and looking at different street designs and things like that. So it's an investment in safety. Together we know we're going to make Monroe County a safer place to drive, bike, and walk. So whether it's by reviewing those road designs, enhancing public awareness campaigns, or identifying funding opportunities for local improvements, this community traffic safety team is committed to finding these real solutions and save lives. It also prioritizes traffic safety because when we do that, we will reduce the frequency and severity of accidents and crashes. We are going to save lives and decrease the economic and social burden that's caused by these road incidents. So again, I want to thank the team behind me for coming together, the community for coming together to create this team. I want to thank them for their leadership and their dedication to make our roads safer for everyone. But I can't emphasize this enough that we need the community's help. And by streamlining that process by which the community can give us that feedback and talk about what's going on in their neighborhood is going to make our jobs a lot easier as well. Because if you can imagine in my position, I get a lot of phone calls, I get a lot of emails from the community. Just, I go to Wegmans like everybody else, grocery shop, people will stop me and they'll talk about a crosswalk, they'll talk about a sidewalk that's missing, they'll talk about something like that. This gives us a way of really taking all that data. A lot of times it's anecdotal evidence. A lot of times it's people that are stopping our elected officials, myself and others. And it really streamlines this into one place so that the public, we can drive everybody to one place. The team can take a look at what's being reported to us by the community and then marry that together with the crash data that we have, the data that we have from the sheriff's office and others. And we could put that all together and say, okay, this is where our investments could be made. This is where we really think there are gaps in the system, in the roadways, in the crosswalks, in the sidewalks, and then we can really, again, start to prioritize and do this in a meaningful way where we think we can have a real big impact. And so this team working behind me is going to work hard to take all that data and put it together and make meaningful investments. And so I want to thank them for doing that and thank the community for their input and advice. And again, this is another way, too, we can show people we're listening and we're hearing what those concerns are. We can take your concerns and now make action on them. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to the director of our public safety department, who's really taken a lead on this initiative, Chief Rich Tantillo. There you are.
Okay. Thank you very much, County Executive Bello. We're extremely excited about this opportunity and the partnerships that we've established here in Monroe County. And when this particular program and concept was brought to my attention, as it is sanctioned by the International Association of Chiefs of Police, we really felt as though this could make an impact in our community in an extremely positive way. As the county executive has stated, and I know from personal experience in over 40 years of law enforcement work, that engaging the community and get their input, direction, and what their feelings are associated with traffic safety in their communities. Traffic safety is public safety, and we want to make sure that we receive the input from those individuals that live in that neighborhood, that live on that street, that see the activity on a daily basis, and what we can do to mitigate that. 47 fatal crashes a year. That's an extremely high number for a community our size, and we want to be able to address it. Fortunately, in Monroe County, when this discussion took place about the community traffic safety team, we reached out to our other government partners, and you'll hear from them shortly. And they were eager, anxious, willing to be a part of this so that we can review the data that is submitted by people throughout the County of Monroe, see what assessments can be made, what changes can be made, and what enhancements can be made, so that each of us are traveling our roadways in the safest way possible and utilizing our engineering and our enforcement efforts and all the tools available to us. During the course of this planning period, we've engaged with law enforcement, fire, EMS, because they also see firsthand what's occurring with traffic and what can be done to help keep our community safer. So with that, I will now call upon County Legislator Dave Long.
Thank you. Hello. I'm excited to help announce this new initiative aimed at enhancing traffic safety in our community. The launch of Monroe County's Community Traffic Safety Team is a program designed to collect traffic safety concerns directly from you, the public. Your experiences and insights are invaluable, and we want to ensure your voices are heard. With the easy-to-use online platform, neighbors can report issues such as hazardous intersections, speeding hotspots, and unsafe pedestrian areas. Photos and videos can also be uploaded as part of the report. And most importantly, this process provides feedback to be shared with the person that submitted the report. Getting around safely in Irondequoit is a top priority. I've worked with neighbors on traffic safety concerns, including establishing crosswalk enhancements on Lakeshore Boulevard and speed monitoring on Pattonwood Drive. As a dad, I'm looking forward to sharing this new portal with my constituents who have shared with me concerns about their kids getting to school safely, as well as making our community more bike and pedestrian friendly. To me, this initiative is not just about collecting concerns, it's about fostering collaboration between citizens, local authorities, and law enforcement to create safer roads for everyone. I applaud the creation of the state's first community traffic safety team here in our county, and together we can continue building a safer environment for our families, friends, and neighbors. Thank you. I'd like to introduce my colleague on the Public Safety Committee of the Legislature, Legislator Paul Dondorfer.
Thank you, Legislator Long. Also, thank you, County Executive Bello, Chief Tantillo, and everyone else who's joined us here today. As mentioned, we are proud to be launching the first program that puts Monroe County families first, ensuring our roads are safer for all throughout the Community Traffic Safety Team, a first of its kind in New York State. This team is holding the government accountable to tackle traffic issues and concerns head-on, utilizing results-driven approaches that work for the people. It draws on the strengths of you, the public, safety professionals, and the community as a whole to get things done by your direct input. And that's why it's so important for everyone to play their part by calling, so we're calling on local residents from Hamlin to Irondequoit to Penfield to be part of the solution by submitting concerns directly through our online portal and our phone hotline. Your voice matters in shaping safer roadways. Look no further than my hometown and Empire Boulevard, where the community has been advocating for safer roadways for years now. With nearly 800 accidents in the last 5 years, this stretch has seen too many tragic events, from head-on collision to devastating rollovers. Families like the Deach family, who tragically lost a loved one on Empire Boulevard, have felt the heartbreak of unsafe roads firsthand. We owe it to them. We owe it to the other 46 families who have lost loved ones in the last year to make these roadways safer. We are here to listen and make the changes that need to be changed. Through the CTST, I hope to further solutions for roads like Empire Boulevard, ensuring that we no longer just talk about traffic safety, but we actually make it happen. This program is about empowering residents and giving them a real say in local infrastructures and road safety. Your submissions will be reviewed quarterly, and status updates so you know that your concerns are being addressed. Most importantly, though, with this program, we're not waiting for Albany to fix our problems. We're taking matters into our own hands here in Monroe County to ensure that there are safer roadways for our family. Let today mark the start of a refreshed era in Monroe County, an era that leads to more accountability, safety, and community-first solutions. Together, we can make Monroe County roads safer for everyone, from children playing in their neighborhoods to commuters and cyclists driving or riding the busy streets like Empire Boulevard. Thank you for everyone who is a part of this program. I look forward to it in the future. And now it is my honor to introduce Cody Donahue, the Director of Policy and Advocacy with Reconnect
Thank you, legislators and County Executive Bello for inviting us to participate in this important announcement. I am from Reconnect Rochester. Whether by bus, by rail, on bike, or on foot for the past 15 years, Reconnect Rochester has championed transportation choices that enable a more vibrant and equitable Monroe County. And we know vibrant and equitable also means economically successful county. In order to have that, we really need to have safe streets for everyone to use. At Reconnect Rochester, we believe that safer streets are critical to creating the kinds of options that we advocate for. We're excited that Monroe County has expanded its focus on traffic safety and will invite citizens to be part of solutions for street-level issues. We believe that data-driven and collaborative efforts to address our traffic safety issues are crucial. Unfortunately, according to Reconnect Rochester's Monroe County crash map, an average of 13 people are killed walking or biking on our local streets every year. And in 2023 alone, drivers killed 20 people who were walking or biking in our community. That includes 6-year-old Ryan Grantham Jr. on Thurston Road in my neighborhood in the 19th Ward. We've also found that crashes have become more severe as vehicle technology has expanded the size of cars. Monroe County residents see and experience traffic safety issues every day on our streets, and will appreciate a conduit to report concerns like street design, infrastructure needs, and unsafe driver behavior. Along with the City of Rochester's recent commitment to Vision Zero, this Monroe County Community Traffic Safety Team will be an important piece in making our streets safer for all people. Our partnership with Monroe County on traffic safety runs deep. We have contributed, along with other community partners like Common Ground Health and Causewave, to the Drive to Be Better campaign to educate drivers on the importance of keeping those who are not inside of a vehicle and walking or biking or rolling on our streets in mind. This year we produced this bike license plate for the first time for cyclists to attach to the back of their bikes to educate drivers on the importance of giving cyclists at least 3 feet of space when they pass us on the roadways. At the end of the day, safer streets benefit everyone in the community. Kids, like my kids, can feel safe playing in their neighborhood. Seniors can stay active, walking or biking, and families can enjoy time moving about the community without fear of unsafe driving and speeding cars. And with that, I would like to return the podium to County Executive Bello.
All right, thanks, Cody. And thanks to all our partners who are up here, and we can take any questions if the media has any. I think it's probably a little bit of both, but I think design issues are a lot of what we're talking about today as well, because it's a little bit of both, though, right? So you look at the red arm, the stop arm cameras on the school buses. That's about enforcement, right? That's not about design. And that's clearly an issue that we have in our community, given the fact that since we've launched the school bus program just about a year ago, so we're coming on just about a year, with the 4 districts so far who are fully on board over the course of the last year. And they weren't all up for a year, but over the course of the year we have 4. There's been over 5,700 tickets that have been issued in that program. So clearly that's an enforcement issue. But what we also is getting here are design issues, right? Street design issues, and that's why I referenced whether it's the road design itself, whether it's a crosswalk issue in certain neighborhoods or sidewalks. Certainly, when I was a town supervisor in Irondequoit, I used to deal with those issues particularly. Hold on a second. That's a good problem to have. Busy airport. No, so when I was a town supervisor, for instance, I used to deal a lot more with sidewalk issues, because those are largely towns have the sidewalks, and we would identify areas around town where there was just simply like missing sidewalks, right? Like there'd be a sidewalk up to a point, there'd be no sidewalk, and then there'd be a sidewalk, and so the residents would oftentimes contact and say, Why is there a sidewalk missing? I have to cross the street, walk, and cross the street again. We see the same thing with bike lanes, right? When you look around, the county actually for a long time had a policy and a real hesitation to put bike lanes on roads. We changed that. We did a number of bike lane projects on county roads last year. We have a few more that are going in this year. That's a design issue, right? So now we're looking at like road design. And again, those are issues too where we really have to have public feedback, because when you're looking at bike lanes, for instance, we need to understand where they're being used and where they're not being used, right, in order to have the biggest impact with your investment. And that's where Cody is very helpful in Reconnect Rochester. And that's where hearing from the public about where more utilization of bike lanes and where it could be done more safely if we had bike lanes can be. So it's both issues, but really in terms of bike lanes, sidewalks, and things like that, I think there is a design issue in a lot of places. Yeah. Yep. I'll answer it a couple ways. If our director of transportation wants, he could talk about actual numbers to it. But I'll tell you from my own experience and what I know. Yes, it slows traffic down, but still facilitates the movement of traffic through town. I live right near one of those roads and remember it very well when it went from 2 lanes in each direction with no turn lane to 1 with a turn lane. And it worked. It slowed traffic down. It made it safer for everyone utilizing the road and still provided that turn lane, so to get turning traffic out of the moving lane. So it does work, and I think we've utilized it successfully in a number of places around the county. Tom, is that?
Yeah. Ultimately, there's a certain volume of traffic.
Yeah.
Ultimately, there's a certain volume of traffic that narrowing and reducing the number of lanes is allowed for. If traffic is too high, of course, we wouldn't do it because that would hurt traffic. So.
Any other questions? Very good. Cool. Thanks, everybody.